When it comes to grounding, do we know how much is beneficial? Is there a certain time limit that shows that, if we're out there barefoot in the ground, that we see benefit? Is it, per day? Is it every day, every week? I mean, how do we know any of those?
Yes, great question. We're doing a hypertensive study right now where I'm recommending 15 hours of grounding a day, including sleeping, using pads when you're working on computers, walking barefoot, or working on grounded footwear. What I've seen is that the sicker the person, the more grounding. But I'll tell you this, in our research, we've shown that within minutes, grounding will support heart rate variability. You've seen a lie detector test where when you lie, when you tell a lie, it's a betrayal of the self. I've learned this through grounding, because in the research that I've done, when you flick a switch on grounding and have a person grounded, for example, with his feet on the earth, we will see a change in skin conductance like that in a second. So grounding can affect the body immediately. And it's my hypothesis as a cardiologist is that when you misrepresent the truth, or if you don't tell the truth, your autonomic nervous system knows the truth. That's why a lie detector test shows a blip, because it's a betrayal of the self. And it's my belief as a cardiologist, and I mean, people challenge me on this, and I have no data to support this. It's an intuitive feeling. But what I believe is that one of the factors in high blood pressure in people, especially people who don't live authentically, or live in a false self, or misrepresent the truth, or chronic liars, is that I believe it contributes to hypertension, because when you keep on betraying the autonomic nervous system, jacket, what happens is it can affect total peripheral resistance in the body and literally cause high blood pressure. I would love to do that study, but the problem is you need people that are they going to tell the truth, and that's the problem. So when it comes to thinning the blood, really thinning the blood, we've done it in 2 hours. When it comes to treating illness, again, the sicker the person, the longer. But you got effects in grounding within minutes. Like when you fly in an airplane and you're full of electromagnetic radiation, the best thing you can do is to put your bare feet on the ground. 15 minutes to a half hour, you're going to feel terrific. And you'll get rid of jet lag. It's amazing.
So basically more is better when it comes to that.
More is better. That's why we tell people to sleep on a grounded sheet. Like I have a grounded mattress. We tell them to walk barefoot as much as you can. Now, I'll show you this. I walk in leather shoes. See, leather is it's a grounded material. So when I walk on the street with no socks on in my shoes, and when I walk outside and I'm walking on concrete or grass or brick, not asphalt now, like I mentioned before, I'm grounded. So what's happened in America? We've gotten away from leather. And I have a great assumption or hypothesis why we have so much obesity and type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance in the country. I think it comes back to the mid-1950s.
And what?
Well, in the mid-50s, what happened, or early 60s, we started to eat a lot of fast food, a lot of high fructose corn syrup, a lot of sugar became in the diet. We became a sugar generation. Our kids were still walking to school then, but then we started to bus them to school in the 60s, and exercise was sort of taken out of the equation. But then something happened that was a game changer in our environment. And the game changer was that we started to go from shoes, leather shoes, to neoprene, to sneakers, to running shoes, to tennis shoes. That disconnects us from the earth. When you're disconnected from the earth, what we've seen in animal studies is that blood sugar goes up. It's been reported by Polish investigators. It's also been published by Canadian investigators. Blood sugar goes up. There's an entity we call hemoglobin A1C, which is a measure of a long-term association of glucose in the body. That tends to get elevated. So it's the perfect storm. We got 50 million kids in the country and young adults with type 2 insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. And basically, it's like a perfect storm. High sugar in the environment, lots of carbohydrates, processed foods, disconnected from the earth, and lack of exercise. It's the perfect storm. And what we've seen is that if you take grounded rats as opposed to ungrounded rats, their blood sugar relationships are better on the grounded rats. So basically, what we need to get back to is Mother Earth and get back to healthier eating, and again, bring exercise back into our daily routine.